An upset of mammoth proportion is the talking point of match day 15 as the significance of the games in hand for a favorite title team seems to wane. That and much more here tonight on First Team. It's about the Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League here on First Team. I'm Wayne Cunningham along with the game caller, Jovan Ravello, who had a very busy couple of days. And we have to welcome back the keeper of the North, former national senior men's goalkeeper coach, Ross Russell. Ross, since your last stint as our expert analyst, a lot has transpired. But the top four still continues to distance themselves from the rest of the pack. Tell me what you feel about how it's looking now 3 days out, or 3 match days out, of a Champions League place.
Well, I think it's very tight at the top. Teams seem to be juggling. I see Rivaldo, personal team, Club Sando is in the mix right now and striving.
Rivaldo, you got a big name.
Yeah, and striving for the winning spot. It's just there to lose it if they want.
Well, Russ, we have you here as our expert analyst. There's a third stint here with us, and we saying you're a former national goalkeeper coach, but you coach national senior team goalkeepers, head coach for junior teams under 20, head coach for women, head coach for Defence Force and Central. Tell me your feelings as a well-traveled and well-experienced coach right now, where the league at and what you're seeing, what you like.
Well, what I like is the juggling for placement. Everybody seems to be heading for it. It had a segment where everybody's talking about qualifying for the CONCACAF. And I think there's the kind of race you want for the best team to really go. Anybody who reach the top spot, I think they will represent us well. And as a former coach at Defence Force, I think Defence Force is trying the best to get in the mix, but it have games coming up that they will have to prove themselves.
Yeah. Just above Defence Force though, on the table, we have Club Sando, first match this week against Prison Service FC. This match was played at the Manny Ramjan Stadium. The opening goal was scored by Alvin Jones in the 10th minute. And he does some more good work here, the left back, to win the penalty. This is going to be a penalty for Club Sando. And who else but the current top scorer of the TTPFL, Nathaniel James, with 11. This is his 12th.
I think Nathaniel right now, his feet is very wet. I think for a youngster, he's really upsetting the top goal scorers.
But for a youngster that age to get a responsibility in such a big game, to take an early penalty, they have to have real confidence in him.
And this is why, this is the third goal of the match. Just 2 minutes after that one, a tap-in really. Not as most spectacular, but 3-0 to Tiger Tanks Club Sando.
Yeah, I think that they believe in the youngster. The youngster seems to be scoring, so I think everybody is playing their hand with him.
And we for sure after this performance here in the league, we'll be hearing more about him around the senior men's national team as well. 3-0
at half-time. That is chrome if you play FIFA on PlayStation and anywhere else. Unfortunate for Prison Service. They would still chase this game, though. Good spirit shown. It's one of the opportunities they had in the second half, just not going on target.
I think as we know, Prison is one of the teams that come in, but I think right now, as Club Sando and the other top four, the top is where they are in. So, teams like Prison have to really come with.
Yeah, and that is 3-0 for Tiger Tanks Club Sando, the second place team in the league, courtesy a great performance again by Nathaniel.
Yeah, Nathaniel have 13 goals in 13 games, You can see that the youngster is really doing his homework. He's up with the big boys. You can't call him a youngster too much again,
And we have been watching Nathaniel James for a while, since he was probably under 12, 13 years old, and we saw the quality. That is the guy where they was shouting about in Curacao about he playing big man football, and I've seen him a while, but I, as a man who saw him a lot, didn't expect him to make such a big impact so early in the pros. I wouldn't lie, and it shows his quality.
No, well, I think he came through the youth program with Mr. Stewart Charles, I think he and a lot of other youngsters at his age is making real strides from that program. So you could see when you put investment in the youth program, you could see how fast they can rise to the top.
Yeah, because we continue to hear the cry, you know, a lot of the naysayers go, oh, we don't have a development program, we don't have a development program. But we could point now at the Premier League, right, and players outside and say, well, okay, Natty James went through the development program, Malik Khan went through the development program, and a whole host of others,
Yeah, I think
you know,
so.
and you've seen them in action in senior football,
Yeah.
you know. Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry to cut you, but how do you feel about a young team, possibly a team as young as this Tiger Tanks Club Sando team, representing Trinidad and Tobago at the Caribbean level? How do you feel about that prospect?
No, well, it could really do good for Trinidad football, you know, to have some youngsters on the international stage as early as they are, you know, because, you know, when they do that, they have at least 7 years to play at that level and 7 years of experience coming. And I think Nathaniel is one of the guys who have a lot of experience. He's been going abroad on trials. He's been playing at the international level since he's about 13, because he was being with the under 15 teams for quite some time.
All right, moving on from this match, congratulations to Club Sando. They're second in the league. We have AC Port of Spain versus Sawa Jablete from Book Malatris in Sawa at the Attobolden Recreation Ground. Newly refurbished. The home team playing the league leaders. This was going to be the first goal of the match. Great pass there by Dwayne Muckett for Sadale McLean to make it 1-0.
I think Muckett is one of the guys that is standing up and making himself counted in the league, you know, because he seems to be scoring a lot lately. He seems to be in full confidence.
And a lot of assists as well.
That was a great pass, and that would have been the only goal of that first half. Second half, however, more from ACPOS. This is going to be Maurice Ford. What a strike. That is his first of the season. Well celebrated there.
I think Maurice is a guy who is now coming to form. You know, he was left out of the squad because, you know, he's a late comer all the time, but he seems to be catching up right now.
He lose some weight as well. Apparently training hard.
A good dink over the top for Sawa Jablete gave them their goal of this match. Joe Cole Pierre, 60th minute, making it 2-1.
I think this is Joe Cole second in 3 games. He didn't score against Laukata Rangers, but he scored a game before that. So I think Joe Cole is making some wave for himself.
Making a name for himself, the name Cole and everybody. What's his name again? Joe Cole?
There was another opportunity there for Jablete, but as this game went on, the quality continued to improve. Look at this from Dwayne Muckett.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Ole, and number 3.
Deserving of a goal.
Oh, yes.
We'll see this in slow motion, but this is a very great assist. We spoke about Dwayne Muckett's form, and you can see the exuberance from Sadale McLean, but look at these touches. Couple of players, everybody stood still.
I think that is why he's wearing number 10.
Fantastic goal.
Show time is on show.
Well with it. This was Jablete, undaunted on their home ground. Good header. Great save by Marvin Phillip.
That's his big keeper.
That is why he's the number 1 keeper in Trinidad.
Say it again.
Shot from Muckett is just wide. He certainly deserved a goal in this match.
He did.
But it would end 3-1 to AC Port of Spain.
Let me just say this before we go into the analysing the game. I must say congratulations to Jablete to be back home. You know, I get goosebumps when I saw the highlights. I couldn't go up on the ground, but you know, it's a ground with a lot of memories. Jablete's neighbours, you know. I think I cried once or twice on that ground. Right? And I must say, you know, Philip Fraser and all the Jablete people who work hard to get the ground back. The sports company did a good job to bring it up to standard with a nice new stands, and they handed over to the corporation, and you know, these teams, Jablete being the main one in that area, will have a nice little facility to work with and probably make a little gate receipts and having some events there and that sort of thing. So Fraser and family, I'll invite me up now, he's friends from long time.
That was not a paid political announcement. So by the way, you want to bring things back into focus here, but AC Port of Spain, people keep asking, will they make it to the end of the season on top of the league? How do you feel about that and the momentum that they've had?
No, they have a good momentum. I think just losing one game on the trot is not really about at the AC right now because I think they have a pack outfit that no matter who miss, somebody falls in. Because you can see Dwayne missed, I think, 2 games, and I think Shea Benny pick up the mantle and work with it. So I think they have a good oil team going. It's up to them to just keep winning and cry till the end of the season.
And what about Jablotay? This was a match where they did face the league leaders, but we kept seeing them coming up with some good opportunities. They kept trying. How do you feel about the way that their season has gone so far, despite their position in the league?
No, you could see some improvement in Jablotay. I think Marvin is doing a fantastic job with the team. It's a young team. He brought in some experience in the mix. And I think, the experience is showing for him. It's just that the league leaders are one of the teams that you don't want to meet on any given day. You have to really put your work out on the training pitch and come and cry it out on the field.
But I think the home team, the home field factor, the home ground factor, will make a difference for them because it's for the first time in a long time Jablotay actually at home. There's been a Rima, here's the Crawford, and so forth. You think that will do something to lift the team?
Yeah, it will lift the team because remember when you have your home crowd with you, it tends to feed a little more into the players. I think the players put out a lot. You could see in all the big games when you're playing at home, you tend to put a little more than normal. But I think it's a good thing for the league to have everybody trying to get their own home feel. So they could play their home game at home, and it will run good for the organization, Jablotay organization, to make the home team feel comfortable at home by making them train a little more on the home ground because you don't want to have a home ground and you're not playing on it. I can remember defense was we had that problem, we didn't necessarily train where we play. So everything come like a way for us.
Yeah, positives all around. But we have something very positive coming up after the break, especially for Mr. Cunningham. First team will be back. Stay with us. Back with highlights action here on First Team. Third match in focus is Caledonia AIA versus AC Port of Spain at the Arima Velodrome. A pitch that has seen some better days in certain parts.
As we play on the cycle track.
This would be a proper shootout between these two teams. So there's a shot coming in from the Rangers, just easily saved there by one of Mr. Cunningham's favorite keepers. This would be the first goal of the match though. Tyrese Dennis bullying his way through and just bashing that one in, 1-0.
Such persistence, such calm play to slot it into the last post.
I think that will make Cunningham feel very, very excited right now this time.
Great work for Dennis, his second goal of the season, this one. Keeper had no chance, just well beaten to his right. More from Cali. This was a free kick. Almost finding the inside of that first post.
Tell all when we come in style.
I think the ground have a lot to do with this game. The ground is a little bit bouncy, so the players are getting a little more trouble than they normally do on the smoother surface.
And we see that bounce playing a role here. Tyrone Charles just winning the ball. Great outside of the foot cross. And then banged it by Kadeem Corbin back home in Arkansas.
I think the keeper should have hold on to the ball a little bit, but I think I told you about the ground. The ground is a little more bouncy than normal, so I think he got a little trouble with the surface.
I think bouncy and the keeper should have done better there. He should have hug it up, wrap it up, or, as you always say.
Nice little joke here from Caledonia. To get into the area, look at this ball. All alone on the far post. Tyrese Dennis gets his third of the season.
I think that was a well taken goal.
2-1 for Caledonia AIA. Dennis had time and space to even beat the keeper.
Call him mom and tell him, watch this.
I think that was poor defensive work by Arkansas Rangers there.
Yeah, very poor. This was more from Cali though. So another opportunity to lengthen their lead.
Rangers could have get 5.
Calm down. And then
I think Colin is having a feel of a time right now.
Malachi Celestin rocking the Rangers to sleep. Easy, you think?
I think it was a little difficult chance because I think Bryce is a big fella, you know, and by going back, he gave him a little more chance. If he did come forward, I think it would have been a little tougher for the striker.
Down in the dregs of this one, 84th minute. Rangers still pushing that ball is from Tulagera. Tyrone Charles back in the starting lineup, just tucking that one in for 3-2.
I think by this time the game was all over, you know, but it was a good consolation goal by Tyrone. I think Tyrone did well to him slotted with the amount of pressure he had on him, with two defenders sliding in.
6 goals for the Terminex Lohogato Rangers captain, but not enough. Caledonia AIA.
Say it again.
Caledonia AIA taking a very famous victory over Terminex Lohogato Rangers, and this is the biggest smile we've seen on Mr. Cunningham's face. I don't know if the camera could just go to him.
Of course.
But you know.
When we win in style. And Russ, you know that too.
Yeah,
when we win in style. Russ used to be fair down the water. Yeah.
It's been a long time since you all feel like we are.
Yeah, but no, it was some tough times.
Yeah, and I think
it was really tough times. I won't lie.
Yeah.
You know, I called Jeremy the other day and I said, Jeremy, what we gonna do, boy? He said, it will work.
But just a point about this match. Rangers won a match in week 14, I believe it was, by 1-0. And the manager the owner had some very harsh words for the team. Let's hear what he had to say. Can you tell me, today's performance wasn't up to the standard that you thought your team can produce?
I thought this was the worst performance in the last 5 years. It was the worst thing I've ever seen we have played in a very, very long time. We couldn't shoot, we couldn't pass, we couldn't dribble. It was really, really, really terrible. It was atrocious, to be honest. It was absolutely disgusting.
Terrible, atrocious, disgusting. What do you think you would think about this week's performance, Russ?
Well, I don't know what you'll think about this week's performance because it's a loss, you know, and the last performance was a win. And if you talk so about the win, I don't know what you will say about the loss. But I think the field had a lot to do with the game this weekend. I think the game against Sawa Jablete, I think it was a well thought out game by Marvin. You know, I didn't think Marvin even rushed Rangers at any point in time. He stuck in, as they say, he parked the bus and he gave them a very hard time. So, you know, Rangers really didn't get the free will as they normally do in the league. Like, you know, when you press on them, they seem to have speed all at the wing. I think Marvin researched this one and made him say what he had to say.
Now, they're now 8 points off of AC Port of Spain, who are on top of the league. How do you feel about their chances of, you know, overturning that deficit and really going for the top?
No, well, I think it have 3 more games to go before the deadline, you know, and each team have to take it as it comes. You know, it's up to AC to throw it away. If they drop points, I know Rangers will jump on it. But Rangers have a lot of work to do still because they have some giants in the making. There are teams they have one of the teams that in the top 4, which is Defence Force, you know, and they will have to really prove themselves and their worth to go all the way. And I think AC will have to stand up to the test and carry it on. We also have Club Sando in the mix, who is 7 points away from Rangers also, I think. You know, and I think Club Sando is one of the teams that sharing some proper licks this rounds here.
But I'm telling you something, I don't know what football fans in Trinidad and Tobago need again. You know, because this is excitement. This is what you want from your top flight football. You know, we have some kinks to work out. You know, we have to probably speed up the game a bit more. But you've seen it happen. You know, if you watch a game from say week 2, right now where we at week 15, you can see the pace increasing.
Yep.
Right, and by the time we reach Caribbean Champions League stage, we should be all right. The key is to get to that CONCACAF pace. Because when you run into UNAM and Cruz Azul and you know, Real Salt Lake and these people and them, you know, it's a whole different kettle of fish. And that's the standard we have to reach at, you know, if you want to make our mark in CONCACAF again.
I think the coaching staff and them are working very furiously. Remember, we was off a little bit, some of the teams didn't even play in the Essential League, really. You could see that they are now working themselves out. I think we have a lot of experienced coaches at the international level who working with the teams. I think they will work to strive to be the best team they could be in the CONCACAF. And if you watch the top 4 teams, it's teams that have a lot of experience in it, a lot of players that play internationally as well. So, it's a step in the right direction. The league is really thinking it's just for the crowd to come out and believe in the teams and give them the support that they need to go to the next level.
Don't stop believing. Let's see the results from match week 15 as these teams continue to press for those top 2 places. Matches that we didn't show today: Point Fortin Civic drew with W Connection. Cunupia FC and Defence Force played, and Jamil Cooper and Rion Moore got them a 2-0 win. That Police versus Central match has been rescheduled. But what do you think would have been the most consequential result of this match week, Ross?
I think the Terminus Rangers game and Cali, I think Cali caused a big upset in the whole run of things. I think, Rangers was shocked by the result, because Cali was a team that was struggling on the trot, and I think Rangers was really surprised to really see Cali on top of them at the end of the whistle.
I had all surprised.
Kind was a bit modest here. He's very happy right now.
Now let's look at where those results leave these teams this week. In week 15, standings up to May 14th, ACPOS are on top. Second club Sando stays there. Defence Force goes up 1 place with that win. Terminus Lahokota Rangers drops down 1. Central Police, Connection and Civic maintain their places from 5 to 8. Caledonia AIA, this week's biggest movers, 2 places to 9th. 1 down Prison Service, 1 down Samoa Jablate. Cunupia stays level at the bottom.
Well, this is so refreshing to see us out of the bottom too. I have to keep talking about it because I got a lot of licks on the show over the past 5 weeks. At the show, before the show, planning the show, producing the show. It has been a tough time being a Caledonia AIA founding member. But they did well this week. We just hope they could keep it up in the match day 16. All right, and keep moving up the table. But as we say, the top four, they're looking like anybody catching them right now. With that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more from First Team.
This is a segment we like to call Goals of the Week, but there was one that stood out above all others this weekend, and it's because of the assist. Dwayne Muckett, a bit of tung-tung, and then
brilliant
golasso up in the roof. Sedale McLean.
I think the finish made the Muckett foot play look very good.
If he had spooned it over or something like that, it would be such a waste of this.
Great assist. Yeah, well worth it. Dwayne Muckett has been in ripping form in the last couple of weeks. We saw that week 14 30-yarder. This is him being a provider and captain for this side. AC Port of Spain continues to run rampant throughout the league. Thoughts on this goal, guys?
Well, I think Muckett make it look special, but the finishing, if the guy didn't finish, he'd waste all the footworks.
For me, the entertainment factor in the league is something very important to me because a lot of people say, just don't cry the league. They don't even go and watch the games and they just carry along the league. And when we show highlights like that, they will see, hey, the entertainment level very high. It's not that the defenders will lax. Yeah, they get mesmerized and they shouldn't be ball watching. Right? But that skill level, top anyway.
Yeah, I think so. I think the games that I attended, I think it was a good 4 games. It was right down to the end. The crowd couldn't ask for no more. I think we are being very hard on the league, really, because there's guys who come out with the pandemic and you know, they work their way up. I think right now the standard of the league has rise from, as you say, match day 2 to match day 15, you know, and you could see the battle at the top is tight. You know, anybody slip, they could, you know, the league could drop. You could go up higher, or you could go low. You could see Cali win one game and rise 3 places up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking about homegrown talents, we just wanted to tip our hats to Levi Garcia out there playing in the Greek Super League.
Make us proud.
AEK Athens won their title with a very good 4-0 win. These are some highlights from their last match in the league. Levi wasn't among the goals in this match, but he does have 19 goals in all competitions this season, 5 assists. Second in the league for goals, 27.5% of his team's goals this season. It's been a very, very big asset for this side as they went to a historic league title. Actually was Levi there. Having a great celebration.
Yeah. I think Levi contributed a lot to this season to his team. You know, he was a guy who was getting some injuries in the other team, but this team, I think he worked his butt off. I think he deserved everything he captured this year.
And I just hoping, you know, he stay fit, because with the Gold Cup qualifiers coming up, you know, we'll need him in action.
Yeah,
you know, and he's in tremendous form.
I think we need his goal scoring boots as well, you know, because I think in Trinidad and Tobago, I think he right now is the biggest player we have.
Yeah. And the national team, we switching the national team now. The national team gelling nicely. You know, he with Molino still out a bit. You know, Joven now coming back. Right. We have the youngster Overy, you know, coming up and making a name for himself. You know, Levi right now is the leader on the pitch.
Yeah, he is.
You know, he's leader on the pitch with regards to, you know, he don't have the armband. You know, that is Joven responsibility right about now. You know, but with his form, you know, and how he's looking on the international circuit, you know, it will be a tremendous boost for Trinidad and Tobago.
Just a note as well, in that match there were 14 clubs, 14 scouts from 14 different clubs paying attention to what Mr. Garcia is doing. We've heard of interest from Celtic, so he's hoping for a big European move for him in the future. But that is all we have for you from this week's First Team. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week.
Hail Cali.